Hello.
Hello, is this the dragon?
It is. Is that Joy?
It is. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. High school duel, here we go. I'm so excited. So the first thing I did was think about the entrance, how people are going to come in and out. I wanted to create this drop-off loop for parents, visitors, guests, things like that. The second loop is for our bus drop-off. And then third, I wanted to create a road alongside the high school where we could put parking for students and faculty. I wanted to use both high schools together in this build. It was really important to me to figure out how to put both of them together in a way that made sense and looked good, and I was really happy. Thanks to Move It, I was able to figure it out. Next, I put in the faculty and school student parking facilities, and then just made sure I was really careful and intentional with all of my paths so that everyone can walk to where they need to go. After I got my parking in, I decided to change up the bus loop and make a little circle. I really liked aesthetically how that looked better. I thought it looked really cute. I then grabbed the track and put that right up front. It had these buildings up front, and I thought it would help just fill out the space in the front of the high school nicely as well. And just using the dirt path carefully and Move It, just able to create all these path connections and make them look really clean. I then connect the path all the way up, and then I grab the baseball field and pop that in the back here. Just also felt like having this here near all the parking in the back was a good call. And yes, you see that right, I did paint my whole entire high school with the campus DLC because I wanted to bring in a couple buildings. So we've got the fountain, which fit perfectly next to this larger high school building. I was so happy with that. I brought in the gymnasium above, which I thought looked really good. And then I grabbed the little IT building, and this will be our teachers lounge, a place for just teachers to be able to have a moment, get away. And I think potentially, possibly, the counselor's office would also fit really well in that building. So just trying to think about the different uses needed on a high school campus. I did bring in the road because I didn't like how the gymnasium had that parking attached to it and it was just sitting on the dirt road. That was bothering me. Then I went in and grabbed a few more parking lots to create maybe a place for faculty parking, for principal parking, maybe like a teacher of a month type situation. I just thought it was important to bring in a little extra special space for different types of parking uses. Then I did fencing all the way around the high school, but then I ended up completely changing my mind. Something that is near and dear to my heart is urban farming, and I think teaching farming skills and how to grow your own food in school is so important, not only for the students but the community as a whole. And I think getting out and getting your hands in some dirt and learning how to grow your own food is just I think it's vital, and I think it should be taught at every school. As I am sitting here building this high school, I was just thinking in my head, I wonder what type of high school campus Snapdragon is building, because I'm sure that we're both building from what we know. And so part of my inspiration for my high school actually came from my real high school. So I'm so excited and curious to see what he did. And that's the reason I'm also so excited for this whole series idea I had, was to just be able to work with other builders and just, you know, we all build so different and we all see things differently, and I just think it's gonna be so much fun and I'm so excited. So this area I decided to view as outdoor classrooms and just tried to bring it all together and make it look like all one large asset with the surface painter, and I think it turned out really nice. The next thing I did was bring in some concession stands near the baseball field. Very American, we must have those, and then some restrooms as well. I kept the detailing on this build fairly simple and straightforward. It didn't need a lot because I utilized so many different assets that they kind of helped fill up the space. So I really liked how the whole thing came together. And by using the campus DLC, I was able to grab the other fountain, which worked perfect for the entrance here, and just kind of create that grand entrance feeling that you would get from a larger campus. And if you notice, I also got the school buses coming and going already, and you could already see how many people are coming to our high school, which is so exciting to see that actually working. And I love seeing the yellow school buses pulling up and dropping people off, and people are waiting for the bus too, which is so great. I love this game. So then I just brought in a little statue action here, some nice flower detailing, just trying to make it feel like a place of importance, and potentially maybe this statue is of the person who the high school is named after or something like that. So yeah, I didn't get super creative and think of a name. Maybe you guys can let me know of a name, because I'm thinking I really like how this whole high school turned out. I'm thinking I might move it and copy it and put it into my other city of Mortalago. So we might need a name, so let me know. All right, the last thing I thought about was campus security and a place for the bus drivers, maybe some additional bathroom facilities so they don't have to go all the way up to the high school. And this would be a perfect place for a security type office. And then I just brought in some additional parking and hooked up a little path just to make things easier. My high school build is coming to an end. I am so excited. Let's go finally take a look and see what Snapdragon built, and then we'll come back and talk about both of our builds together.
Hello, and welcome to Ashbury Dales, the UK-themed countryside city that we've been building over on Snapdragon Cities. I am delighted to have been invited to take part in this high school build-off on Joy's Jewels, and we are going to have some fun. We've got this undeveloped space here. Now, I could put some premium housing in here or some leisure activities for the folks in this area to enjoy. But I could also maybe build the world's poshest secondary school. But let's dive in and get started. So first things first, the school is going to be about here in this, I guess you would call it, it can't be a peninsula, right? That can't be the right word for an area this small. But this bit that kind of sticks out and almost bridges over to the other parts of town. So we'll do a bit of groundwork here. We'll do a bit of road layout and then we'll place the school. Let me get that done and then we'll check back in. So there we go. What do you think so far? I think we're off to a fantastic start. I think this asset is wonderful. So JSF1 has created a series of Toronto-based high schools and elementary schools on the Steam Workshop. They look to me very, very similar to the kinds of schools that we have in the UK. So the assets are wonderful. I'm making liberal use of them across the Ashbury Dales city, and I hope you enjoyed them too. We've got that placed in there. We've got the car park that we put in there, and so a small series of roads getting to the car park, getting to this bus loop here. So there'll be some amount of opportunity for parents to drop kids off here, but they will be getting in the way of other parents, and we're going to leave it like that because we don't want them thinking they can stop and stay. Using a narrow road here, but we've got the slightly larger road coming in from the main road here that leads off to the country roads out and about through the city. So the buses will presumably take that route through there, though who knows which way they'll end up deciding to go once we place that route down. But step one complete. We've got the roads and the high school placed. Let's now look at some fencing and some marquee decorations. Well, there we go. Isn't this coming along really well? I'm really happy with how this is coming together. So we've got a wooden fence that goes all the way around, all the way up to the end of the, let's continue to call it the peninsula, and then runs all the way down here. We had a decision to make about whether the fence goes in front of or behind the trees. We decided behind the trees. Let's keep the trees in the school grounds. That sounds good. We've also lined the car park with some heavier tree cover and created a little area just by the car park here with a working shed, a couple of skips and some benches there for whoever the ground maintenance team are at this school. We've also, actually, I've hidden it in this current angle, created a little bike shed area. Not quite a shed, a bicycle parking area. So no idea what all of this says, but it's definitely got a picture of a bike. And there's another picture of a bike here and a bunch of bikes and bike racks there. Again, just trying to re-emphasize the fact we don't want everyone to drive despite the existence of this massive car park. We decided to cut the school off, the fence off here on the way in. So that means these entrances are available to and from the car park. These ones coming out the sides here and along here are to the playing fields. That all feels good. Fences join up nicely. We've got a little gate here for side access should we want it. Feel like we've done everything but the fun stuff. So we got the school in, we got it fenced off, we've got some nice colourful decoration out the front, car park established, trees everywhere, fences everywhere. Now let's have a think about some of the activities that the people at the school would be able to do. So it wouldn't be a UK school without a football pitch. This seems like a really nice area here to lose some footballs over this fence and into the water, but perhaps the best of all of the possible locations here. So let's spend a few moments creating a football pitch here. There we go, that'll do a thing. So we've got a couple of football pitches here. We've really scuffed up the ground by the goals. That would be quite common. Maybe not quite as scuffed as this, but I think we're going to be absolutely fine. We've got some paths to get there, some trees to give a bit of privacy and a bit of protection from the ball going over. There's a gap between the height of the fence and the canopy of the trees, but if they're accurate enough to shoot the ball through there, then good luck to them. They deserve to lose the football and get the 10 minutes of walking around, collecting the football, bringing it back, and if that's what they want to do to avoid PE, then they can do that. Let's move on to something else. So we've got the football in. I think if I was running a school that was this close to water on essentially every side, I would start a rowing club. Now you might be thinking, Simon, how many secondary schools in the UK have a rowing club? And I would say none that I went to. And that's right. But we're trying to create a posh secondary school and we've got all of this water here. And so, I'm going to create a rowing club. Let's spend a few minutes establishing our rowing club and see if we like it when it's done. There we go. So we've got a pier in here, a pier deck with some kayaks either side of it, a couple of sheds with some kayaks near it. I imagine there's some changing facilities in here. I imagine some wetsuits hanging up in here and some cubicles where the students can get changed for rowing class. Fine, otherwise no problems. Put a break in the fence. We're going to now draw a path from here to there. Right, and so then we can pick off a couple more sporting activities that we can use to fill some of the space in here. Perhaps some tennis. There we go. There's the tennis established. So yeah, it's not flat. Get good. You think you're going to be fine. We've got some benches along there. Some racks to hang the tennis rackets? Question mark. That can't possibly be right, but they're in there now. A couple of sheds to chuck stuff in. So we've made it now so that this door is the one from which you access the tennis courts. Otherwise, you are leaving from this door, accessing the path to get to literally everything else so far, but that's fine with me. That might be about it for sporting stuff. I think we've done quite well. So we've got a couple of football pitches, some tennis courts, and a rowing facility out here. I think we can put some final decorations. I do want to make sure that there is some green stuff between the main part of the school and the fences. I don't think we need to do too much. We'll probably just try and replicate some of what we've got here. Let's do that and maybe think about calling it a day. Yeah, I think that'll probably do. And so what do you think? High school, secondary school established with bus parking and bicycle parking alongside significant car parking facilities. We've got football, tennis and rowing all established in here. Plenty of green space for kids to do other things if they would want to. They're relatively safe from the water on all sides. We don't want them to feel too comfortable, of course. We need that little bit of fear in public school life in the UK. Otherwise, I think everything is going to be exactly as they need it to be here. So I'll wrap it up here. and let you enjoy a little look around the build.
Snapdragon, this high school is amazing. What made you decide to do it on this little peninsula?
Well, I had the space. The part of the build needs a high school over there, and I thought I'd need to do something a bit special for this. So I thought it's a beautiful area, it's a beautiful part of the map, and I think it turned out really nice. I think it looks fantastic.
You know what? I really love that you pulled in the rowing. Is that something that's very common at, what do you call them, secondary schools?
No, well, my high school definitely didn't have a rowing club in it. I imagine there's a British secondary school somewhere that has some kayaks next to a river, but it's not common. I did it just for you.
I love it. It's great.
I love yours. I love the sporting seems so much bigger in an American high school than it seems to be in my secondary school. Was there anything in yours that you had to compromise on? Did you want to do something you weren't able to do?
No, I feel like I was able to, I was thinking about my high school, and this is much fancier than my high school, but the footprint is about right. It's actually a little smaller, I think.
And you managed to use both high schools as well. I think that was nice. They look very different, but they seem to go very well once you decorate them all together.
Yeah, I wanted to use them both. I didn't know if I could make it look right, but I think it turned out okay.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Snapdragon, that was so much fun doing that high school duel with you. How did you find it?
Oh, I had great fun, Joy. I really appreciate you inviting me to take part. I enjoyed building the secondary school, and I think putting all the detail around it was a really interesting challenge, and then seeing it alongside yours was really great fun. Thank you very much for having me along.
Well, thank you again for coming. What are you doing the rest of today?
Oh, now that's a great question. I've got some free time. Should we do this again over on my channel?
Let's do it.